Hey guys, back again with video number 6, another great informative video. Man, I'm just getting started here. I'm really excited about this whole thing, this training, and especially tech stocks. A lot of the things that you guys should be talking on, kind of training you guys on, are things that I've already done. I might have failed at them or succeeded. Either way, I'm going to explain to you the do's and the don'ts, the good and the bad, just so you're aware of what you're getting into. But this whole thing called tech stocks, guys, week number 6, I've had some success with it. I like it. It's fairly new for me, to be honest with you, but I've learned enough where I can share with you what to do, some of the do's and don'ts of tech stocks. I've actually bought shares, I bought stocks. I've got some that's holding that I can't cash out on right now. I had a company that actually, one of the ones that I bought some shares, and that company was sold to another company and they had to pay me out. They gave me a payout. I made 68% profit on my investment. It was a small investment, but I want you to take this mentality as if if that investment was $1 million, I would have got my $1 million back plus 680,000 on top of that. That's the power of tech stocks. And I only had this investment for about a year. So I've learned some things. I'm going to go behind the scenes and show you what I've done, and I'm going to explain to you how tech stocks work and how you should get into this. It's going to be powerful. Hopefully this could be between 15 and 20 minutes, but because I have more videos to do, but I really got to take my time and dissect this and share this with you. So one of the fastest ways to build your portfolio is through tech stocks. But guys, hear me out. Patience is definitely the key. Just like regular stocks, just like mutual funds, just like Roth IRAs, other things of that nature, they take time to build profit, to build, for you to get into the high level of profits that you can really, really make, to really take your investment and triple it, double, triple, quadruple it. It takes time. Right? In my case, I made some money fairly quickly, but it wasn't the amount of money I wanted to make. But I made some money, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Right? I'm going to go behind the scenes and take a look at my $20,000 plus portfolio, okay, that I've created with a company called Start Engine. It's a private it's a private company. Well, they're public, but when I say private, I mean they're not mainstream. You won't see them on the news or in places like in the media. Um, but the guy that runs it, he's pretty successful, and people know who he is. I'll go over that in a moment. But it's a private platform for startup companies to connect with investors like myself. And I'll do a little bonus talking. Probably may not be on this video, but toward the end of this teaching, this training, I'm going to talk about ETFs and insurance policies, stocks and bonds, some of the other things you could do to make money. I did mention in another video the insurance policies portion. I have a young lady. She's like a mentor to me. She's out of California. Her name is Teresa Heschler. Been knowing her for about 4 years now, and she's an insurance broker. She knows all the secrets, and she knows how to get her clients into these programs where they put in a minimum investment in there, and that money turns into millions over time. She has all kind of programs that you can get into, insurance programs to protect what you have, to protect your wealth. All right. But let's get into this whole tech stocks thing, man. I'm really, really excited about it. I will say this. I'm not a master at it, but I know enough to get you guys started, and hopefully you'll get some good information here today. Let's get into this right now. Let me make the screen smaller. I can. There it is. I don't want to go there. So let's start here. Okay, this guy, a lot of you guys know this gentleman. His name is Kevin O'Leary, better known as Mr. Wonderful. People call him Mr. Wonderful. He's on that show called Shark Tank. Right? He's an awesome guy. I mean, he's smart, very wise, and he's not one of the guys that just talk about it. He's actually one of the guys that's actually doing it. He started this company. Well, he's the face of the company. He didn't start it, but he's the face of this company called Start Engine. So this is the company that I chose to help me buy stocks or buy tech stocks shares. And it's a platform where I can buy and hold, and when I'm ready, I can sell them after a certain amount of time. So this is the guy that runs it. He's the guy that's the face of it. He talks a lot. He makes a lot of videos on what they're doing. But here's what really drew me to the company. Now the numbers are different from a year ago, but if you look here, they personally raised on their platform about $10 million. Right? They've previously, before they did this, they did some other ventures, and they got about $31 million raised, guys. These guys know what they're doing. They have over 5,000 investors, me being one of them. I personally invested about $2,000 with Start Engine, the actual company itself. And then I went on their platform and found other companies that I wanted to invest in. So they're a platform where you can go on there as a private investor. You can invest in them and in all the other companies that are out there looking for people like you and I to invest. In fact, if you have an idea, you want to launch your business, you can go on there as as an entrepreneur, and put your product or service on their system and find other venture capitalists, other smaller investors, big and small, to invest in what you're doing. So I bought about $2,000 worth of, and at the time the shares a year ago about the same. They were about $12 last year. $13.50 per share. You have to invest a minimum of $500. Now here's what really got me with them. These guys have a $786 million valuation. Now anybody, and that was the kicker for me. Whenever you look at a company, you see that they're over $500 million, and they're valued at least $500 million, guys. They're serious. They're a real established company, pretty much. They're going somewhere. They may be fairly new, but they have enough backers who believe in what they're doing. They're on their way. If you look at a company that's between $500 million and $1 billion in valuation, and they're valued at nearly $1 billion, that's one you really want to put your eyeballs on and think about it. So they're nearly, in a year from now, they'll be $1 billion company. That's what gave me the go ahead and invest in these guys. And they're Regulation A. Let me just explain the difference. On this platform, and I'm gonna go into my investment right now so you can see what I invested. You have two types of opportunities that you can invest in. You can invest in Regulation A companies or crowdfunding companies, which if they're not Regulation A, they have to be approved through the SEC. All right, but these are Regulation A companies. I'm gonna go over that in a moment. This particular company here is, but some of the other companies that I invested in within their platform are not Regulation A. But here are my personal investments, and you're not going to see the full value of what my portfolio is. You're going to see what I originally put in a year ago. So if you do the math on this is a little over $12,000. Okay, but within a year's time, my portfolio has grown to about $20,000. That's how much these stocks are worth. Okay, so you see here there's 36 companies that are regulation crowdfunding, and then you see 4 companies that are Regulation A. One of those companies is Start Engine. Okay, so as you can see here, I have about 40 companies, obviously. Skunk Brother Spirits, I can't go through all these. Mental Happy, Citizens. I always stumble when I say that. City Zenith. I keep getting that wrong. City Zenith. I have 479 shares. I have 229 shares in FluZap, Go BQ, Z House, Dan Clark Audio, Argility. And guys, it goes on and on. These companies are pretty good. IX Water, but I'm gonna call your attention to a couple, and one in particular. Let me just show you. I'm gonna come back to this one here. It's Solid Track. I'm gonna go back to that one in a moment because that's actually one that actually was bought out by another company, and I got a payout for them. But here is Start Engine here at the bottom here. Okay, so you can see it. Here they are. I got a ton of. There you go. 178 shares I bought. And that's the total value at the time, $2,002, okay? But let's go back to Solar Track. I want to share that with you guys really, really quick, and I want to show you what happened with them, all right? Pistro, I got some shares with that. This is one here that actually went up in value. I bought it a year ago, and you're going to see in a moment, this one here, man, the value is way up. I mean, way up right now. But let's take a look here at Solar Track, if I can find it again. Hang on a moment. Let's take a look. Where is Solar Track? There it is right here. All right. So I bought 275 shares a year ago, valued at $258. And out of the blue, let me just show you what that looks like. Okay. That's Pistro there. That's Start Engine there. You see my certificate there. Here's Solar Track. $250. I bought it back on June 27, 2020. And they sold, let me show you what it sold for so you can see this. It sold recently. They were bought up by another company, okay? And the initial payout on this was approximately $1.68 per share. So you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you guys I made a $68% profit on top of 168%, because I got my money back, right, which was the $258, and then I had an additional $258, something like that, and then plus 68% on top of that. So I bought the shares at $1 per share at the time, but they sold for $1.68 a share, which means Within a year, it increased 68%. So if I had, let's say, 100,000 in there, I would have gotten back 100,000 plus an additional $68,000. But I only invested a small amount. So let's go back and take a look here. So you can see that right there. You saw how much let's go back over this. So you saw what I got there, right? Let's look at this. This is what I want to show you. Right. So I want to go back over here. I kind of lost my place here. But so I got an email. This is back in June, and they were telling me, okay, Jimmy, I know that you bought these shares, but as you know from certain communications and public announcement, SolarTrack has been acquired by Ideanomics. Listen to that, guys. So basically, they sold it without my permission. So when you become an investor and you put your money into these companies, they have the right to sell it to someone else. However, when it's sold, you have a certain amount of time to acquire your profits if there's any profit. So there was a profit made, obviously, okay, because I bought the shares for $1 a share. I'm going to show you the dollar per share because I think you guys need to see that. It's right here. When I bought it, they were $1 per share. All right. The maximum people offered. Now listen to this. A year ago, they offered the maximum offer they would have gotten was $1.7 million for it. That was the offer people offered to buy their company. And they were like, no, we're going to hold on to the company. We're going to save it. We're going to wait. And then they got a $7.7 million valuation. But here's the kicker, guys. I bought it for $1 a share. It sold for $1.68 a share. But here's how much the other company bought them from. Listen to this. This is why tech stocks are so powerful. Listen to this, guys. June 16th, we are very pleased to announce the sale of SolarTrack to Ideanomics, a global developer of commercial electric vehicles, for up to an approximately $24 million. Let me just clear my throat there. Yes, I said that right. They went from $1 million valuation to selling the company for $24 million. Okay, I ain't gonna read the rest of this, but this is what I got. I wasn't paying attention when I got this in my email, but they kept telling me you'll see all the people that who's on the board of directors and how much they bought it for, and the rules and regulations. As an investor, they have to send you this stuff, And then they sent me this little thing here. It's called a letter of transmittal, which means whenever the transaction is completed, they have to pay me for my profits. All right, and you have a certain amount of time to do that. So they send you this little document. You have to get back to them really quick. I have to go up a little high because I don't want you guys to see my bank information. But they tell me, okay, Jimmy, you need to go ahead and complete all of this stuff here to get it back to us ASAP to get your payout. All right? They tell me, okay, where do you want the money to be wired? Blah blah blah. So they did tell me, okay, it was sold, and this is your profit. So my profit on a 68% return on top of the 100%. So I paid about $250 for the shares. They wired to me about $420 somewhere in there. Okay, so that's how much money I made on a small investment. This is why tech stocks, they're so powerful. In a year's time, that investment almost doubled, guys. So you hear people like Beyonce and Jay-Z and all those people that, they're making a ton of money. They put 10 to 20 million or 30 million into a project. And in a year, if it goes up 75% or 100%, they almost double their money. This is powerful. If I would have left it in there and they had kept it for 3 or 4 years, the investment probably would have tripled or quadrupled. And that's a fairly short period of time. But I just showed you how I got paid. I got paid fairly quickly, right? And that was not Regulation A. Okay, that was Regulation crowdfunding. Let me break down the difference between Regulation A and crowdfunding. So Regulation A is start engine. That's what they are. And here's the definition of them. Okay, of what they do. Here it is. Here, I'm gonna show it to you. Regulation A is an exemption from the registration requirements. Okay, it allows companies to offer and sell their securities without having to register the offering with the SEC. Right. So the SEC normally they get involved with these type of things unless it's Regulation A. So that's exactly what Start Engine really does. They actually say, okay, we are going to allow you guys to buy stocks, buy our shares. And when we're ready, you can sell them. They don't have to go through the SEC. That's what they can do. Some companies can do it, some can't. It all depends on what they're selling, what kind of stocks they're selling. Now, let's go over the other one here because it's important that you know the difference. Regulation crowdfunding. You guys hear about crowdfunding all the time. You have, crowdfunding.com. You have, pardon me, what's another major one that I really, really like? What's the one that I really, really, really like? It's really good. I haven't used it in a long, long time, but let me just Google here, crowdfunding sites, because there's a few that are kind of outdated, but they're still good. Uh, oh, that's the one I couldn't think of it. Quick Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Patreon, crowdfunder, GoFundMe. You know, these are all good for if you're trying to raise money for something. But crowdfunding investing is a little bit different. So with with Start Engine, you're able to come on there, and they have all these other companies, guys. I mean, a ton of companies. Start investing. So I'm gonna click on Start Investing. You'll get to see all these companies. Look at all these companies that they have here. They have 194 companies that you can invest in. All right, and basically you know you click on one and they'll say, hey, listen, you know, you can invest with us, but you're gonna need a minimum of $300 to invest. The shares are 87 cents a share. They'll tell you how many investors they have currently, and then you click there to invest. And it has to be approved. They have to approve you as an investor. You have to be accredited investor. That's a process you go through. And then you cannot cash out for at least a year. And then with this type of investing, if it's not Regulation A, in most cases you have to find someone to buy your shares from you. But if you're regulation, so that's regulation crowdfunding. But if you're Regulation A, like Start Engine themselves, they will open up once they raise the amount of money that they want. They can go ahead and allow you to go ahead and sell your shares back to someone in their network. It's much easier. It's almost like buying and selling of cryptocurrency or stocks. You can have $1 million in stocks right now and turn around tomorrow and sell them, go into the platform and just say, hey, I want to sell, click a button and sell it. That's Regulation A. Or stocks. The stocks a little bit different, but they both, or cryptocurrency, they all operate the same way. But you know, when you do regulation crowdfunding, in most cases, you got to find someone to buy the shares. So in this case, if you buy these, you know, you're going to have to hold on to them for at least a year, and then you have to find someone to sell them to. All right. I'm not sure if I'm making sense there, but I hope you guys got that. So this company is pretty cool. Guys, you can come on here and you can set up an account and start investing. I recommend you go into companies like this because it has a $25 million valuation. A year from now, the shares could be $4 a share. You know, you buy 1,000 of them. You know, think about how much money you can make. You're gonna quadruple that investment in 2 years. You do same thing for $100,000 investment. You know, 3 or 4 years from now, it's gonna be worth $300,000 or $400,000. That's the power of what we're doing. We're talking about here. All right. So now that you see how that works, let me just close this window here. So yeah, crowdfunding is the way to go, even with investing. And I just showed you some of the things that they do. Also, what I wanted to show you was in my back office here, I was trying to actually sell my shares with Start Engine, but they haven't raised their amount of money, the amount of money that they want to raise just yet. So they're saying, Jimmy, you can't sell those shares just yet. And I looked at my back office, and there's only 4 companies that's Regulation A, and they're one of them. And there's another company here. It's called Pistro. I said that right. Let's go to my platform here. My dashboard. Pistro, yeah. So Pistro, I bought a year ago. I bought 203 shares. Okay, and let me show you what I bought them for, so you can see this. I started and I bought those shares for 2,000. But Pistro, I bought some shares for $301. Okay, now here's what I want you to look at. Let's close this out. Pistro in 1 year has increased 66%. So I bought it for, you know, originally $312, and it's up 66% in a year. So my cash value right now is $519. Now they're not allowing me to withdraw it just yet because it's Regulation A, and they haven't reached the amount that they want to. They haven't reached enough investors just yet. Same thing with Start Engine. Now Start Engine is down 2% from a year. So my value right now is $1,900. However, I cannot withdraw that either until they get to a certain level. So if you notice, Regulation A works a little bit different than the other ones, okay? So what I got to do now is I got to wait until they raise all their money, and then there'll be a little link here that says, okay, you can withdraw, and then I can transfer the funds here. But that's the value right now, just those 2 stocks that are Regulation A, $2,400 value. Guys, not bad for a year of investing, right? Because I'm into profit. 66% is high. What investment you know that you could put, you know, $1 million in the next year is worth, you know, $1.6 million. Had I put $1 million in here, that's what my value will be right now and growing. This is the way to go, hands down. Okay, guys. Again, let me go over that again. Regulation A, don't have to go through the SEC. They can have investors come in, buy, and sell without having to go through their process. Regulation crowdfunding, which is these other guys over here. Let's go back to this page. One of my investments. They have to get, and that will be these 36 companies. Most of these companies are regulation crowdfunding. They got to get regulated by the SEC, and you have to do it a certain way. You can't just buy and sell stocks. You can't allow your clients to come and just buy and sell. Basically, you make your investment. After a year is over, you got to do what I did. You have to purposely try to find someone to buy your shares. And so I have all these stocks, and they're just waiting. They're increasing in value. But when I'm ready, now that it's been a year, I invested last summer, I got to go find someone to buy the shares. There's a couple of things you can do with that. You can actually, you can advertise for it, Craigslist, other places, and basically just say, hey, listen, I got, let's just take this one right here, Agility. I have 253 shares of Agility stock, and that person has to agree to buy it. And then you contact Start Engine, or you contact Agility and say, hey, listen, I want to sell these shares. They will tell you what the steps are to actually transfer your shares over to that person. And then when that money comes in, they actually have to pay you, they give you a payout for it. That's how it works, right? So listen, guys, these kind of stocks have really made a big difference. It's made a lot of overnight millionaires, okay? Overnight millionaires, because they put their money in, they wait. Just like cryptocurrency, it has the power to really do some really good things for you guys, right? I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anything here, because I wanted this video to be short, right? So basically, stocks and bonds. I talked about insurance policies. You're going to go to Teresa Heschler. I'm going to make sure I put her information in the email so you can contact her. Stocks and bonds and ETFs are definitely what you want to get into. You want to look at both of these. I'm going to do another short video probably in the future on ETFs. They're better than regular stocks, guys. But when it comes to tech stocks, I just broke it down to you. The best thing is, I would start by going here, all right, and create an account. Start browsing the opportunities, the other investments that's there. All right, let's go and start investing. When you start your account, if you want to be an investor, you want to go here and just take a look at everything they got here. They have all types of technology. Xcraft Enterprises, Waverly Labs, Fisher Wallace Laboratories. Okay, these guys got really good products and services that you want to invest in, and trust me, you won't regret it. You're going to make money with this. I'm doing it. My portfolio now has grown to about $20,000. Okay, and this is very, very serious. Very serious. I'm talking 3-4 years from now, it may triple just by holding on to the stocks and just letting them mature. And then I can go out and find investors to buy them from me. So again, let's open your mind, guys. Open the ways of opportunity in your thinking. Diversify. Again, don't put in the amount of money you can afford to lose. Only put in the amount of money you can afford to lose. That's what I meant to say. And stay away from aggressive investing right now. You can make money. You can do this. This is all about strategy. Take your time. And please be wise with your investments, okay? If you have any questions for me, just make sure you put them in the comments, not the comment section, but this is going to be on a private video, so most people are not going to see it. So if you comment on it, I can see it, but it won't be public. Just email me back and say, hey, Jimmy, I need more information. This is what I don't know much about crowdfunding and how it works and how to become a tech stock investor, but I like what I see. Teach me this, and this, and just kind of, let's just take it from there, because I'm very busy with a lot of different things, and I want to make sure I put aside time for you guys. You guys are special to me, so you can learn this information, okay? It will change your life. As I always say, I'll see you at the top on the next video. Bye-bye.